Okay, so now we're going to have equations with rational exponents. So the title of this whole section, 2.6, is kind of like other types of equations. And so this is falling under that category. There's kind of a bunch of different kinds of equations. So let's say, remember we had 8 to the 2/3 on the last video. Let's say we had x to the 2/3 and it equals, I don't know, 1. I'll just make it a simple one. How are we going to get x by itself? Like, how are you going to get rid of that 2/3? Now, you might be thinking, well, I'll change it to radical notation and deal with it that way. That might not be the easiest way to do it. But what we can do is we really want it to be x to the first power. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise this side of the equation to the reciprocal of that rational number. Okay, so we had x to the 2/3. We're going to raise that to the 3/2. Now, because we did that on the left, we also have to do it on the right. And so it looks like that. Now, what happens here is those multiply. 2/3 times 3/2, that's just 1. So I got my x to the first power. And then on the other side, well, I have to deal with that. So what's the square root of 1 cubed? It's just going to be 1. So it wasn't a very exciting one here, but that's the idea. So if we have a to the m over n equals, I'm sorry, I don't want an a there. Let's make it a variable. X to the m over n equals, b or something. Then you're going to raise that to the reciprocal n over m, and you're going to do it to both sides, and you're allowed. Okay, now we should always check the answer. 1's going to be fine here, so I'm not worried about that. All right, so let's look at this example. We have x to the 5/4, and we want to raise it to the 30, or I'm sorry, it equals 32. So x to the 5/4 equals 32. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise this side of the equation to 4/5. And we're going to raise this side of the equation to 4/5. And we have that root part being odd. That makes it a little bit easier so we don't have to think about whether it's positive or negative. Okay, so on the left we get x, because those are going to just multiply to be 1. And then on the right, I need to know the 5th root of 32, and then I want to raise that to the 4th power. Well, the 5th root of 32 is 2, and then 2 to the 4th is 16. So that would be the answer to that problem.